House Turkey Day. You don't do the turkey noise?
Yes. God. Standard holidays. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Welcome. We are just trying to get set here. I literally, what a professional operation it is that we run here. Give me 1 second here, and we will get this ready to roll. I'm sorry. Folks, I've been injured. I just listen. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. That should have been the name of this episode. Had I been thinking, maybe afterwards I'll go back in and change it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this 85th episode of the Political Spotlight. This is the 85th episode. We're calling it "You Get What You Get and You Don't Throw a Fit." Now, that's not what I called it. It's originally called Preset Minutes. And put in your we can edit in a thumbnail here. I didn't have a thumbnail set for this episode. I literally woke up from a nap like 3 minutes ago, and thanks to Audie Barber calling me and saying, "Hey, what are you doing? What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, not much, just waiting for the show to start." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's 8:40 right now." When you burn the I don't understand. Are you 1 inch from the screen? That's the other thing. I don't understand what's going on. The camera keeps getting closer and closer and closer. Let me try to reset this. I don't know why that is. Give me 1 second and let me see if I can't try to fix that. Hey, what does that look better? Look at that. Hello, everybody. We're back. Thank God. I don't understand how that gets switched like that. Man, this is what a day. My hair looks great. You can't tell your hair looks great. Man, I don't understand. Oh God. I'm telling you, this rib deal is no joke. Can you back it up even more? No, unfortunately, I can't. I wish I could. I wish I could. Like the further away that Alva, I used to do an audio only podcast, and I was extremely beautiful then. That's the thing. So for the audio only podcast, let me see here before we get started. Hey, folks, it's the day before Turkey Day. We don't have to be all professional here. This is like a holiday special. So we're gonna get to the politics, but just give me a moment, okay? I'm a little injured. Turn it to the what? Turn it to the left. Turn what to the left?
Your camera, man.
Why?
Every time Audie comes on, what's the first thing you tell him? Turn your phone. Turn your phone.
That's hilarious. What an idiot. I guess that is true. You said you just woke up. Yeah, I just woke up. Listen, hey, I'm injured, people. You're going to have to give me some time to get on the ball here. Yeah, all right. Now, what am I doing here? I'm looking for something to show Alva. Stand by. I'm going to show you all something here. Oh, yeah, right here it is. I see it. It says old perception is reality logo. Look. Okay. So this right here is what we started off with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Okay, here we go. Open. We'll see if those 3 things open. Yeah, I'm specifically struggling today. Okay. All right. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so for everybody that it's like, oh God, this is what we got to look at. Keep in mind, folks, I originally, when I started this thing, it was an audio only podcast. Perception is Reality with Kristopher H. Bilbrey, right there. That was my very, very, very first thing I ever made. That was the very first logo I ever made. And then while I was sitting at Gaddis Chrysler waiting for a customer to come in, waiting for that next up to hit the lot, I was playing around I was sitting inside of I was actually sitting inside of, we had 2 amazingly beautiful blue Dodge Chargers sitting up on the hill by the door. And I was screwing around inside the car, and I took this selfie of me wearing my sunglasses. And a long time ago, I had these sunglasses that I had green tape right in the middle of. And I took this picture of me, this selfie, you see this thing here. This is my head. And if you blew this up and you looked into the lenses of the glasses, you can actually see the cars down the line. It's hilarious. And so I put this in an editor on my phone, and it gave me the black and white version of the picture, and I kept messing with like the way that the picture, distorting the picture, until I basically got this cartoon looking version, and it just cut it off at my eyes. And I was like, oh yeah, that's the logo. And so this is the logo I used for Perception is Reality for a long time. And the best part about Perception is Reality is you didn't see my face. It was fantastic. Fantastic. And then once it really kicked off and people were like, you might want to make a little bit more professional logo, then we went with this. Perception is reality. And so I liked the idea of the screwing around in the car. Jackie. Oh, yeah. Well, the thing was, hold on. I got to get to the comments. I'm sorry. I haven't even been looking at comments. The place where you drove. Yes, I drove off in an all new Hellcat. Stole the car. They fired me. It was a whole big long thing. No, I'm telling you, I love Gaddis. Gaddis was amazing. That was a story from She Who Shall Not Be Named. Hey, happy birthday, Darla and Audie. That's a real life thing. It's their anniversary. We've all screwed around in a car a time or two. By yourself, though, Annie? So this was the second. This was the professional. I actually sent off and had this made. Like, I actually paid for this. And the one thing I said is I just did not want my face to be there. And so they left off my eyeballs and things, and people were always kind of freaked out by that. But I always said that on a very arduous phone call one night, I was talking with a friend of mine named Sarah Beach, and then I immediately got off the phone and I called Kate, producer Kate, and was talking and having this really long phone call. I was just having a really bizarre evening. And that night, I quickly determined that I stated that I had, what was it? I have a voice for what was it?
You have a voice for silent movies and a face for radio.
Face for radio. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's the other one. A face for radio and a voice for the silent movies. And so I was like, and this is probably the best place for me. See, I never wanted to come to YouTube. I never wanted to do the whole YouTube thing. Never, ever, ever, ever wanted to do YouTube. Had no idea. Had no idea how to do the whole YouTube thing. Everybody kept saying, you need to get on YouTube. You need to get on YouTube. But by the time they told me to get
I don't know, Christopher. I think we kind of prove about nightly that we still don't know how to do the YouTube. So
that's true. That is definitely true. That's hilarious. So the thing is, I didn't want to do YouTube because by the time it came to doing YouTube, I already had like 90 episodes of audio episodes. And the audio episodes, I first started out doing 2 audio episodes a week. I did it Tuesday and Saturday. And then at about the 50th episode mark, I cut it down to once a week. I did it on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, I would release a new episode. And I did that like clockwork until we hit until we hit episode 197. And then we came here. I told you that you're far better looking than you think you are. You're perfect for this venue. People relate to you. I hope that's true. I had a phone call. I had a phone conversation today. I'm going to tell you this. I had a phone conversation today, and I'm not going to tell anybody who it was, but I really genuinely, for the person who called me today, I hope they're watching. I think they know. I think they'll know. I had a phone conversation today from someone who called me, and it was just the recent hubbub that's been going on in local government. And they called, we were talking, and just there's someone that's been listening kind of on and off for the last little bit. And they were just asking some questions, and I really appreciated that phone call. I've always told people that I have said and done and been involved in politically some very crazy things. I've been arrested for speaking in a meeting. I've been involved with protests. I've been involved with shutting down meetings. I've been involved with, all sorts of crazy things. And, big man trying. I've got to say that, anytime I'm not calling it unless I need bonded out. Anytime I've ever felt before, like, I wonder if I've gone too far. I wonder if this is something that I've pushed the envelope and I probably shouldn't have done that. From time to time, like, I normally don't ever question myself. I have another friend who one time told me that she didn't like how I just act. At first, it was real scary. She thought that it was crazy how I would hear something. Someone would say, "Oh, today, Janine Lee Lake did this," and I would immediately make a post about it. "Oh, Janine Lee Lake did that. That's crazy. Janine Lee Lake did blah 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 blah." And I would get on and I would go live and I would talk about something that Janine Lee Lake had just done. And this person's like, "Wait a minute, you're not like really giving any kind of thought to what this person's done. You're not thinking about what you're going to say and how that pushback's going to be." And I'm like, "No, that's not true. I am giving thought about it. Like, I heard it. I listened to it. I've been involved in politics long enough to know, oh, that looks like this and that's going to play out this way." And it's a lot of times how the story is told. Like, they always say that history's written by the victors. And that's very true. But sometimes history can be pre-written. The victor sometimes tends to be the first person that speaks in politics. So if you wait until the story's out, if you wait till everybody's already got their preconceived notion, and then you say, "Well, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z," everybody's already got the way they think. And I'm very clear and upfront about the fact that I am not a journalist. I'm an opinion guy. I'm giving you my opinion. Now, my opinion is based on years of experience in politics. There are some people that appreciate that time in politics. There are others that don't. That's politics. Look, I don't hate Mike Jones because he disagrees with me. That's politics, folks. If I lived in Redding, California, there would be a Mike Jones there. There's going to be someone that disagrees with what I say. I saw Rob Kendall post the other day. Someone's talking about Rush. Someone was talking about Rush Limbaugh in the comments a moment ago. Rob Kendall made a post the other day on X or Twitter or whatever it's called now. And he had posted that he, long ago when he first got into radio, he remembered a quote from Rush Limbaugh that said, I'm trying to find it here, Rob. Rob tweets insanely a lot. Okay, here we're coming to it. Rob said the quote is something to the effect of, you know, in this line of work, unless you're hated by 20 or 30% of the people who listen to you, you know, you've not really arrived. That, you know, for you to be considered of any kind of importance, yeah, I had to learn as a sign of success that 20 to 25% of the people that listen to me hate my guts. Rush Limbaugh. And Rob Kendall said, that's some of the best advice I ever heard. Still totally me. Thanks, Rush. And I agree with that. So, it's just kind of interesting to me. But this every time I think, have I gone too far? And this has happened since the very beginning. Happened from the very beginning. Every time I think that, something happens that tells me, just keep going. You're on the right track. Just keep going. You know, I don't vary, hell, you were important before you even started. Listen, that's why I keep people like Kate around. Those of you that just fill my head up and tell me that I'm important, you will always have a space in my circle. God. Why I don't have to be narcissistic when the people around
I just mean you were hated by 90% of the people before you ever even got going with this stuff.
I can't laugh like that. That hurts. That
Good.
hurts me. I love it.
Keep
That's
you
funny.
On your toes. I love it. You're alive, man.
Yes, that's true. That's funny. I don't frequently do a whole lot of talking about my ex-wife. But one thing I will say is when when I went through my divorce, my ex-wife and I talk. We have talked. We don't hate each other. There's no whatever. You know, we're fine at this point. And I, when we went through the divorce, a lot of people would come up in Winchester and say, "Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. You finally got away from that. It had to have been crazy living with him. You divorced him because he's so outspoken and yada yada yada." And she would say, "No, that's not true at all. I agree with everything that he says. I still back him. If he says something politically, like, I agree with it." You know, she'll call periodically and get information on who to vote for, or you know, we'll talk something political or whatever. And you know, I always appreciated that. How's the crazy life going? It's going. But I appreciate her saying that. And even now, not always, but there are periodically times where she will listen or watch or listen to something that I'm talking about here, specifically when it involves the place where she lives and or interacts with. And even now, she'll say the same thing. And it's funny to me that I'll have detractors who will use her and they'll say, I had one lady who said, I reached out and talked to her and blah, 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 blah. And you know, that did not happen. Joni does not say anything negative about me politically. And so, you know, that's always interesting. But when I first got started, we were still together. And there would be times that her or my mother would say, "Man, I don't know. Should you be saying or doing this? Is this going too far?" And I would be like, "All right, just trust me. Just trust me." And it would work out. Now, I truly believe I truly, truly, truly believe there will come a moment where I jump the shark. I will believe there will be a moment where I will have to say, oh God, I apologize. I apologize. I should not. I've really gone too far. I'm sure that'll happen someday. But I don't know. And I got to tell you, for the person who called today, and I hope they're listening, I hope they hear this. I've not said anything in the last few days or last week or last month that I've thought's been relatively like crazy. I've not thought that there's been anything that's been like too like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But every now and then, it's just good to get that positive feedback. And I get messages from people all the time. I just got a message the other day that said, thank you for doing this and what you do and whatever. And I appreciate that. We get that a lot. People message. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving too, sir. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you stick around, but if you don't, you got to take off. I definitely appreciate you. And I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. But every now and then, it's good to get a deep conversation from someone who goes through things. And I didn't really know where he was going with the conversation that we were having. He was asking a couple different questions, and I didn't really know where he was going. And I answered honestly, and we talked about different things. And at one point, he asked the question, do you think that you're effective with what you do in changing what goes on or what occurs in government? And I knew what my answer was as soon as I heard it, but I was thinking about how I was going to word my answer. And so I was kind of going, and he went on and he said, like, I mean this. Do you say, I know people listen to me, and I know I can say X, Y, or Z, and that's going to change things? Or do you think, hell, I am nobody. Nobody listens to me, so I can say whatever I want to say? And I really appreciate his question. And I said, now listen, I've got to be careful when I answer this, because if I just quickly say, well, hell yes, people know who I am. I make a difference and I change the world and look at me. That sounds absolutely crazy. That sounds egotistical. It sounds, narcissistic. And I do not think like that. Like I can promise you, I am a Leo. I have very much Leo tendencies. I am a showman, or else I wouldn't be. I mean, you have to have a little bit of that if you're gonna get behind a microphone and a video. Said you sound like Lisa saying that. Wait, come on here. Saying what?
Here. He sounds like Lisa's when he's saying what?
Which one?
Come out. You're important. You make change. You make a difference.
Yes.
That's what I popped into my head.
That you sound like Lisa. I don't say that. I would never in a million years ever say that. Ever. Hey, everybody knows she truly does make the world go round. I think, matter of fact.
That's no space station.
Huh? I was gonna say, I think she's got her own gravitational force. It's something's around that hair. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, we could have got really mean there. I'll let that go. I almost jumped the shark right there. That's hilarious, Niles. But I told that guy, I said, I appreciate that answer or that question, because the answer is I said this the other day. I'm nobody. I am somebody that likes politics, that has a hobby that turned into a job that I love, and I believe I'm good at what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do, more importantly. And anybody could do this. Anybody could do this. Okay? Anybody could do this. You just got to be willing to. You got to have the drive. You got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to sift through the thing. At that same time, I'm not going to say nobody knows who I am. Listen, I know there are people out there. I have talked to actual real live current and past elected officials who have said, man, I talk to people and they say, I do not want to wind up on Bilbrey's show. I do not want to be turned into a cardboard box in a meme. I don't want to be the title of an episode. I don't want to be talked about for 2 weeks. So I'm going to just give him the information he wants. I'm going to give the record request without a fight. I'm going to vote the right way. Now, I don't ever force anybody to vote the way I want them to. I say, I want you to vote your conscience. I want you to do what's best for the public. If the law says you have to give me this text message, this email, this piece of paper, then by God, that's what I expect. If you've got to give me that piece of paper at 10 cents, I expect to pay you 10 cents. If the law says you got to give it to Tom, Dick, or Harry for 10 cents, then I expect you give it to them for 10 cents. So, hell yes, I change things. I don't. We do. And when I say we, that's Kate, Brandon, and I, the structural team around us, Niles, a couple of other people that I don't mention, a couple of my real good friends and people that I lean on, and then you guys, the watchers. We make the difference. If it wasn't for you all, if it wasn't for the people in Muncie that watch, the people in Delaware County that watch, the people in Anderson and Madison County and Winchester and Richmond and Henry County and Newcastle and Portland and Jay County and Blackford County and Hartford City and Indianapolis and Marion County, if it wasn't for those people, and then the people from Colorado and the people from Louisiana and the people from Alaska and the people from Germany, if it wasn't for you people that watched, then we would not be effective. When I say I mean the team. We, the team. I need to get rid of the word I. It's not I. It's not me. It's me and Kate and Brandon and you guys. You guys are more important. What do you mean, you people? Let me see some of the comments here real quick. I can 100% attest that you do make a difference. You make people stop and think of what these people we've elected and chosen are doing behind our backs. Please would believe it and not be sarcastic. I truly believe that had you not taken the time to look into fire-based EMS, there's a good possibility it would not have been passed. You helped get the truth out on the program. That is very true. I very much believe that. I think that is very true. And that shaped, I mean, think about the things in Muncie that's happened. The city of Muncie this year bought 7 vehicles based on the money that they received from billing of fire-based EMS. So had we not talked about that here, fire-based EMS may not have passed, and the City of Muncie wouldn't have bought those 7 to 12 vehicles this year. So yeah, I absolutely believe that. Not people need your thick skin, and that's the other thing. People said, "Man, does it not bother you when Mike Jones says these things, or when Mary Stilts says these things?" And I'm like, listen to what you're saying to me. If Kate said those things to me, if Audie said those things to me, there's a couple other people in my life. If they said those things to me, they would hurt me. There are people in my life that I have fallen out of friendship with, or one way or another, and things have been said that have hurt me. But when Mike Jones says something about me, or Mary Stilts, I have to care about who you are. You got to mean something to me. I've got to hold some level of respect for you, for your words to hurt me. Other than that, it's politics. I get it. It's part of politics, baby. It hurts so good. It's part of the ordeal. That's what people need to understand. So I agree that not many people can do it because they don't have that thick skin. And to that I say, toughen up your skin, people. I disagree. There are not many people who are willing to research and put themselves in the line of fire, Kate says. I agree with that. And I very much believe that people have to do what they're good at. So not everybody can. I understand that. Josh Fish says, I have to spend Thanksgiving at the in-laws. Almost rather be locked up kicking the door in this girl's. That's hilarious, Josh. I hope you have a good Turkey Day. Julia says, yeah, she was voted having the nicest hair in high school. When beehives were in. Annie says, you said the other day that there was a person that wouldn't know who I was. And Annie said, of course they know who you are. Everyone knows who you are in this community. And that still weirds me out. I think that that's probably accurate. You have to laugh when those people say something. It's funny to know that you're occupying space in their lives. Yeah, that's very true. It's very, very strange. I could put you out in a crowded Walmart, Chris. Yeah, and that is really strange to me. It's because we are all watching what's going on in the government. Yeah, that's very true. Yes. EYE. I like that. That's hilarious. Is Mike Jones the guy that attacked you at the new $1 million claim? Yeah, attacked. I hate the word attacked. I guess. So while sitting in a commissioner's meeting room in February of 2020, I guess. In February of 2020, I walked in and I sat down in a chair, and he sat down way over there, probably like 12 chairs between us. And during the meeting, someone who was sitting next to me got up and walked out. Well, when they did that, Mike Jones got up out of his chair. The meeting's going on. In the middle of the meeting, he gets up, he walks up, and he doesn't walk behind, walks right up in front of everybody, comes and he sits down next to me. And I'm writing in my little book, as I often do. Anybody that's ever been to a meeting and watched, they know this is what I do. I got my little book and I'm sitting there writing along in it. And I'm listening to them. And Mike Jones starts chirping in my ear, saying just crap. I don't know what he's saying. And I'm hearing him, I'm listening to him, and I'm here. I know he's talking to me, and I'm writing, and he's running his mouth, and I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to this meeting. And he keeps running his mouth. Well, when he notices that he's not getting my attention, he starts taking his hand and poking them in my side, poking me like in the side with his hand. Now, he didn't hurt me. It wasn't hurt. It was weird. But he was poking me, and it was getting on my nerves. And he got to the point that he was like actually distracting me from listening to what was going on, Audie Barber was sitting in a chair in the row in front of me, and I'm sitting here. Now, keep in mind, this man got up. I didn't sit down by this man. I wasn't saying anything to this man. I wasn't saying boo to him. I'm sitting here writing in this meeting. It keeps mouthing me, poking me, and after like the third time of him poking me, I'm saying, yeah, it was strangely arousing. I said, hey, quit poking me. And he stops for a minute and then he starts back up. And I tell him to quit poking me again. And then for a third time, now he's starting to piss me off. So listen, I was a police officer and I understand that there is 98% of the population who will respond to, hey, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest. You could yell that from 20 feet away, and 98% of the population is going to turn around, put their hands behind their back, and wait for you to get up and handcuff them. Now, you would never do that, but, they would do that. But there are some people that the only thing they will respond to is serious, loud language, hateful words. And so I wanted to impress upon this old, dirty, perverted weirdo sitting next to me who's poking me in a meeting. I wanted to let him know, all right, I've been polite, Chris, for the last, 30 minutes you've been doing this. Now I'm going to express upon you the seriousness of what happens if you continue doing this. So I turned to him and I used a few choice words and I told him to knock it off. Okay. Well, when I did that, apparently he didn't like the words that I used and he stood up and said, "What'd you say to me?" And he stands up and he gets between my legs and he grabs me by my shirt, kind of like this. And the way that he had me, I'm sitting in a chair, like all I had to do was stand up out of the chair. He had me, and I grabbed him on the inside of he was wearing a coat, and I had him by the inside. I had him by the jacket and by the side of his jacket here, like in a really good hold. I could have worked him down. I could have worked him to the left. I could have worked him to the right. I could have stood up and let his old ass down in front of me. I took martial arts when I was younger and advanced high in rank, and I took defensive tactics while I was on the police department. I never took judo or anything like that. I was always taekwondo, but I felt like I had him. I had the momentum on him. He was over me, but he's a little old man. And I had the more control of him. And I thought, man, if this guy gets crazy, I'm just going to lay him down. Now, there's people's like, why didn't you beat his ass? Let me tell you, that's what they were hoping for. That's what he and James King and everybody was hoping. They were hoping to provoke me into acting. So then they could be like, see, and employee Mike Jones could go over and wink to his sheriff's department and say, he attacked me, and I'd go to jail and be that thing. Well, I'm a little bit more controlled than that. There are people who would say like, hey, like, I would, sure, but I'm laying the groundwork. So he didn't hurt me. I was in control of the situation. And so everyone around sees what happened. I made a police report with it. I laid that groundwork. We did that. We moved forward. And then about a year later, I'm in the Justice Center. I'm waiting to go into court to listen to a thing. And he walks up and he pokes me right in the chest, just like 3 times. Poke, poke, poke. And I told him, and it was like, that's the last time that you poke me. I don't know what your weird ass old obsession is with that. I don't know what your perversion is, but I'm not into it. No means no, Mike. And so I made a police report. We did that thing. And I said, like, look, that's the thing. That's the last of it. Well, then this last April, is when he did the thing where he kind of like charged me. Now he touched me, but Audie and other people got in the way, and so that thing kind of ended. Now I told the sheriff's department then, that's the last time that happens. We've laid the groundwork. I have no business with him. He has no business with me. I sometimes have business in a place where he works, but I give everyone my solemn word that I have no interaction with anybody that works in the mailroom. If this man, who is a Delaware County employee, who has had outbursts and who has a history of doing this, if he finds it necessary to have an interaction with me, as long as he's polite and calm, it will be polite and calm. From that point forward, what will happen is I'll exactly what Stumblefoot said. I will use all force up to the point that it takes to require to stop the ordeal. And he will not like that end result. So I've laid the groundwork. It is what it is. But yeah, that's Mike Jones. And so it's kind of moved above and beyond normal politics with him. It's kind of weird. But I think he's just got some kind of perversion. I don't know. I hope he's seeking counseling for it. Okay. On to politics here before we wrap this up for Turkey Day. We don't have a whole lot to talk about. I didn't actually know what I was going to talk about this evening after even everything that's happened today, the few things that have happened today. I didn't know exactly what we would cover because there's not been a whole hell of a lot that's gone on. We are obviously in the few days before Turkey Day this week, so I knew that there wouldn't be a whole lot. However, there was a Board of Works meeting today, and I did show up to that Board of Works meeting, and I did get a chance to go on record at the Board of Works meeting. And I want to let you guys hear what happened. Okay. Yeah, I think there's some kind of mental illness to play with. Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. I think it's all that stamp glue, man. You lick enough of that stamp glue. Look, it killed. No, it was the envelopes. The glue on the envelopes killed George Costanza's fiance. So, I hope the best for Mike. I truly do. Okay, so I want you guys to hear this. Now, I was kind of disappointed today at the Board of Works. It is the 60th anniversary of the JFK assassination. That is true. I went to this Board of Works today. No good news from the doctor today. Gonna lose more weight. No, Alva, that's no good. Well, I hate to hear that, bro. I hope, man, that's no good at all. Keep us posted on that. That's crazy. I hate to hear that. The Board of Works meeting, I went there to do two things. One, to talk about the crisis center, and two, to talk about the claims. Now, I'll explain that to you, and we'll go from there after we hear this. But I'm going to play this, and then we'll hear it. It's very short. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I know that you've been battling that, Alva. I hope that maybe something changes, and by the time you go back in, they tell you something changes there. I hate to hear that. You never know. I definitely will keep you in my thoughts and prayers, brother. That's horrible. All right, here is the Board of Works.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the November 22nd meeting of the Board of Works. If you'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. May I have roll call, please?
Ted Baker,
Present.
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 We have been given the minutes from the November 15th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I make a motion to approve the November 15th minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any comments or questions? Again, Lacey, well done. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Motion carried. Consideration of the claims, the register of claims. Mr. Craig Wright, City Controller, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sent out an email as usual yesterday afternoon, actually yesterday morning, with filing claims this week. There's really not a lot on there. The usuals with utilities and healthcare. But I did want to point out one of the large claim, which let me get the page on here. It's with the EMS. We did purchase on page 7 for $696,956. It is a fire truck, new fire truck, which they are hard to get. So that's with that. I'll open up with any questions you might have.
Linda?
I have none.
Okay. Paul?
None.
Okay. I don't have any either. Let's make a motion to approve and then we'll open it up.
I move approval of the claims for $1,391,575.01.
Second.
Any comments or questions on the amounts? Public comment. Okay. Okay, go ahead. And this about the claims.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been with this a minute. My name's Audie Barber.
I hate when they say this. I hate when he says that because it's, no, I'm not even going to get into it. But if I would have got up and wanted to talk to him about, they might not have liked it, but you're a public meeting in a public building on the record. I'm going to talk to you about whatever I want to talk to you about. And you might not like it, but you're not going to tell me not to talk about it.
We've been with this administration about 4 years now. We got another 4 years to go through. Are you guys not answering questions about the claims anymore because he never gave answers in the meetings? Or I think we need to, when you guys ask questions on these claims and he says, oh, I don't know the answer to that right now. Can I get back to you? I would like to see that the Board of Works holds this gentleman accountable for this and maybe the following week when he comes back gives an answer to these questions that you guys usually ask, but you haven't been asking for a while. So I'd just like to go on record and saying that, and maybe we can get some more answers to these claims and have it on public record. And that way people know what we're spending our money on instead of having to dig through the claims themselves and find out where all the wasteful money's going. Thank you.
Okay. I want to talk about Audie's issue here. Very, very, very important. Very important. Last Board of Works meeting when Ted was not there was a perfect example. Linda had a question about one of the claims for IU Health, and it was for the crisis center. Matter of fact, when I talk, I bring it up. She said, what is this claim for? I did not think that the crisis center was currently in action. And it wasn't Craig Wright last time. It was Squidward, Matt Wigley. And he's like, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on this. And she's like, okay, thanks. Well, the public has that same question. What is this? We would like to know too. What happens is he emails her, maybe, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe they never talk about it again. But we certainly don't know about it. We certainly don't hear about it. So what Audie was talking about today was perfect. What's happening here? We would like to hear that. You know, we would like to know what's going on. Now, in my opinion, when she has those questions, she needs to say, well, we're going to pay all the claims except this until you get me the answer. Or we're going to hold up everything until you do. We'll recess the meeting and we'll come back in half an hour. You know, so yeah, when they pay the claim, it's like, what does it matter to tell you? We'll go ahead and pay it. You tell me or don't tell me, whatever. So this is a perfect example. Linda asked that last meeting. Maybe she got an answer. Maybe she didn't. I wish I would have been thinking. I wish I would have asked her. They didn't come in at the start of this meeting and say, hey, by the way, the answer to all of your questions are, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sometimes, but only in the back of a Volkswagen. I don't know what answers they could have given them, but they could have given the answers. So she didn't, to my knowledge, I don't know if she got her answer from last week or not, but they just go through the process. So Audie's question was a great question. And he did get a little bit of a dig in there. Okay. So I like what it was. All right. Now I have the agenda here for the Board of Works. He does look. Ted looked. I'll tell you, Ted seemed nervous, but I think it's because there was quite a bit of people in the Board of Works today, and 2 of those people were Audie Barber and Christopher Bilbrey. So right now we are here we are right here. The consideration of register of claims. All right. We've got to go through all the rest of this. Okay. Let's hear what happens here.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you.
And I will say that all the claims are posted online, viewable to the public.
Thank you.
All of the claims are posted online. Yes, I've been showing you that. But let me tell you what it shows you. It shows you the date. It shows you the check number. It shows you the amount. It shows you what it went for, the Crisis Center of Substance Abuse and Treatment. And it shows you who paid it, the Board of Works. But it doesn't tell you what it was for. It doesn't tell you, oh, Annie, wait till you hear what I'm getting ready to tell you. Wait. Keep that thought in your mind, because I'm getting ready to blow your mind. All right. So, okay, here we go.
Thank you. Next, we have Muncie Sign Warehouse. Okay.
Muncie Sign Warehouse. Now, last Wednesday, they opened bids for this. Okay, so they had 3 bids they opened, and they've taken it under advisement, and now the Baby Huey here, the city engineer, is amazingly was able to leave Steve Selvey's office long enough to come down and do this meeting. He's going to tell us which company they're going to work with. Okay, let's listen.
That's good. Adam Leach, city engineer.
Good morning. So we've compiled the bid tab for the Muncie Sign Warehouse bid that was open last week. Just as a reminder, I'll run through those. Crew Construction was the apparent low bidder at $368,000.
Crew Construction, CRU, Crew Construction. Keep them in your mind.
$319. Monroe Construction second at $389,769.
Monroe Construction. Okay.
$89,769. And Pride Mark was the high bidder at $578,000. Did go through their Form 96. All 3 businesses were reputable. They provided their bid bonds, all the necessary documentation required by law. So with that said, I would make a recommendation that the bid be awarded to the low bidder for Indiana state law that is both qualified and responsive. Crew construction for $368,390.
$368,368,000.
$19.
Could you, who was that again? What the,
$368,319.
could you, who was that again? What the
Crew.
Okay.
And that's Crew Construction, CRU. Now, if anybody thinks that Crew Construction, does that sound familiar? Well, Crew Construction is the same people that call themselves True Construction. They're two different names, two different companies, the same two people doing two different things, working for the City of Muncie, getting paid for the City of Muncie under two different names, under two different LLCs, the same two people. Why do they have different names? If that doesn't make you think something fishy is going on, then I don't know what else. Listen, folks, my father owned a company for a long time and worked there for years before he owned it. Muncie Tent and Awning. They did work. Muncie Tent and Awning. They would do work for the City of Muncie. They would do it for Delaware County. They would do it for other governments and private people and whatnot. They never changed their name to do things. They never went in as Muncie Tent and Awning one week, and then the next week they were Muncie Awning and Tents. They were never Muncie Canvas Company. They had one name, Muncie Tent and Awning since 1910. That was their name. From point A to point B, that was the name. Why are these companies doing these little shell games? Listen, we all know why. We don't exactly know why, but it seems like they're not on par with true and no pun intended, true and accurate business practices. Something seems a little fishy here. And they're all tied together. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Annie. All right, let's continue on, because this is not the first time or last time that we're going to talk about True and Crew and all that nonsense. Listen.
CRU Construction.
I just wanted to make sure I had that on my. Okay. Okay, thank you, Adam. We have a motion to accept this bid.
I move approval of the acceptance of the low bidder on this sign warehouse project.
Second.
Okay, do we have any public comment or questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Now, listen,
Aye.
All
listen.
listen.
Okay, motion carried.
After that ordeal, he said, are there any public comment or questions after that? Okay, so he asked that right after dealing with that deal with the Muncie Sign Warehouse. Now, another thing I want to say, that's $368,000. They put that under bid. Why are we not doing that with the Muncie firehouses? Why have we not had our second meeting on the Muncie firehouses? Mayor Dan Ridenhour won. There's a new council that's going to be coming into place. Are we not in a hurry to do the firehouses now? Now that he beat Jeff Robinson, is there not a hurry and a push for the firehouses? Have anybody heard anything about the firehouses? Have we heard anybody ask anything? First of all, has anybody heard of or seen Mayor Ridenhour? I mean, listen, as far as my understanding, he's not really been in and doing anything since before the election. To my knowledge, he's still sick. I don't know if he's still got food poisoning or what, but I sent an email to him and I got an auto response on Tuesday that told me he was out until the 27th. So has he basically been out since the 6th? That was the 6th. So he probably didn't work the Monday before the election. So did he work Friday the 3rd? Has he been out since Friday the 3rd? Has he been off this entire month? And he's more or less going to be off all next month. And he says he heard that he vomited in the stairwell. Man, something seems like it's going on there, and I don't know what that is. That is very, very strange. All right, let's listen here.
Adam, thank you for following through with that. And
You're welcome.
the next, some new business. We have some bid openings for the Muncie Crisis Center. And those
Okay. Next up is the Muncie Crisis Center. All right. So now let's listen to what goes on here.
there's a stack of them here, and Linda will open them up and read
Trying
them
to
out.
find them.
Yeah.
The first one is from Fredericks. The base bid is $625,330.
$625,330. That's the base bid.
There are two alternates. Do you want those read into the record as well?
Please.
Was that
Yes.
a part of the bid process?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so alternate one for an adhered stone veneer wainscot is $42,122, and alternate two for a standing seam metal roof was an additional $21,500.
Thank you.
The next one is from J.G. Bowers. Base bid is $763,250. Alternate one is for $39,300. Alternate two is $21,700.
Thank you.
These are very well done. All the information is right here up front. I don't have to
Makes it so
search.
much easier.
Oh, it does.
Form 96.
This one is for Pride Mark Construction. The base bid is $651,000. Alternate one is $33,200. Alternate two is $36,200. This one is from BCR, doing business as Weisenhut Construction. Base bid is $850,000. Alternate one is $35,000. Alternate two is $65,000. One package. Well, I spoke too soon. There it is. This one is from CPM Construction. Base bid is $870,000. Alternate one is $14,300. Alternate two is $52,300. Okay, this one does not have the U.S. Architects.
Oh,
Base bid is $697,800. Alternate 1 is 22,900. Alternate 2 is 38,300.
Linda, could you look on the front of their envelope? Because U.S. Architects was our architect.
I'm sorry, Atlan Construction.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. The construction line was blank on the form. Okay, CRU Construction.
Oh,
Base bid is $881,543. Alternate 1 is $31,707. Alternate 2 is an additional $46,312.50. I'm sorry. CRU. And that completes the list.
All right. So I would recommend that you basically take those under advisement. We'll do the same thing, compile a bid tab, or actually my architect will compile the bid tab, make sure everybody is responsive, qualified, and then we will come back with a recommendation on award for next week, or maybe the week after, depending on how long it takes us, but either or.
Thank you very
Great,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any other comments or questions?
okay. Now he asks if we have any other comments or questions per this event. All right. Same thing he did up here in unfinished business when they did the sign situation. They did the sign deal, and then they said, do we have any other public comments? Then they did the bid thing. Now, keep in mind, they did the bid, and he just said, do we have any other comments or questions? And down here it says additional board topics, public comments, and then adjournment. Okay. The guy speaking at the podium is the city engineer, Adam Leach. Now, so I hear this because I have both comments on what we just heard, and I have public comments about the claims process. So I didn't, because you heard when he had questions about this week's claims and Audie got up, he said, now wait a minute, does this have to do with what we're talking about? So I was going to space these out. I was going to talk about my concerns about this process we just went through. And then during the public concerns, I was going to talk about my claims issue. So let's listen here to what happens.
Good morning, Mr. Bilbrey.
Morning, Kristopher Bilbrey. I would just like you guys, the City of Muncie, to consider, while considering these bids and considering this project, the City of Muncie has paid an awful lot of money to this project, to the building that's standing there. The City of Muncie bought the property at 809 West 8th Street for $135,000. When that property was bought for $135,000, that was May 11th, 2023. The purchases of the building before then were for $60,000, $70,000, and nothing had changed with the building. So the prior individuals and companies that had bought those buildings had done so for $60,000, $70,000. So when the City of Muncie purchased this property, just less than about a year and a half after the last time it had been purchased, we did so at quite a large amount over what it had been purchased at. On top of that, we have also paid claims in the amount of 15 different claims for U.S. Architects, IU Health, True Building. I mean, and these are large claims. Some of these claims you guys questioned. I went back through the meetings. Some of them you didn't. I mean, to the tune of $7,000, $11,000, $30,613,
$21,000 to like True Building, $11,000. So it's, and that does not include the fact that we then also paid 13 claims for utilities, Centerpoint, Indiana Michigan Power, Indiana American Water, to this building. To the total of, over the last 11 months, we have paid $289,283.38 to the property at 809 West 8th Street. Now, last meeting, I heard there was a claim to IU Health, and Linda had asked, I thought that this wasn't in operation. What are we paying for? I think the citizens would like to know what this money has went for over the last 11 months. When we're paying True Builders to go there, I've been there several times. The property looks as it did today, like it did in 2019. The property has not, I've looked inside, it's dark. You can see inside that they may have done some gutting inside, but I don't know how the city of Muncie can spend close to $300,000 on a building that we're now opening bids to tear down.
Here we go.
And you heard these bids. The lowest one was $625,000 to tear down. What's it then going to cost is this to build or is this to tear down? Do we know what these bids are for? Okay, so we're going to be tearing down and building.
This bid, he just said, this bid was for tearing down, and the bid is for tearing down and building a new building on this property. Okay, let's go from there.
A building on this property, the lowest is $625,000 on top of the nearly $300,000 that we've paid to a building that we're going to be tearing down. That just seems to be extremely wasteful, and there's a lot of questions about this. So I would hope that you guys, are doing your due diligence and asking someone what this money's went to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Those are fair questions.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you for telling me my questions are fair.
Chris, I didn't know you were going to be here. Thanks for coming. My name's Audie Barber again. My concern is with these bid packs that you're going to leave the footer.
Now, again, we're here talking not about public comments, but we are here talking about concerns under the bid opening. Okay.
And you're going to leave the foundation for this building. Do you realize that this footer and this foundation is 40, 50, 60 years old, and it's on a slab, and you're going to find that they're going to come back and ask for more money because the foundation and slab and all this stuff is not going to be up to par, being 40, 50, 60 years old. We're all 40, 50, 60 years old, and we're in pretty bad shape for our ages. And can you imagine what concrete laying on the cold and hot ground's done over the last 40, 50, 60 years? So that's going to be my concern. You're going to look at another $100,000 probably for a footer and dirt work and all that stuff. So just be prepared that you're going to spend some more money on this project, even though we come in at between $625,000 and $859,000 or something like that. So it's going to be a big project for down there, and it's going to look a heck of a lot better than what's down there now. I live a few blocks away from this place, and it's pretty bad shape. When we bought this property in May, I think Mr. Bilbrey said, anybody could have looked at the roof and said, well, oh, wait a minute, there's a bad problem here. The roof's not been changed in 20 years, 30 years. It's been bad for 15 years. That's how bad the roof is on it. So I'm hoping when you guys spend this money in the future that you guys at least go out and look at the projects they're wanting to buy and work on and so on and so forth, because I am a taxpayer in this town. And I do not want to see the lit tax get raised up for all these projects and all this stuff. So let's be a little bit more responsible on our spending. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, having none, meeting adjourned. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a great...
Whoa, wait. No, not meeting adjourned. You still have additional board topics on the agenda. It's right here. And then you have to go through public comments. We were just here under this. If we go back to unfinished business, after the Muncie Sign Warehouse, you took comments about this topic. Now we're down here to new business, bid opening Muncie Crisis Center, and you ask questions or comments about this topic. You skipped additional board topics. Why, sir? You skipped public comments. Why, sir?
Great holidays, safe.
Are you not doing public comments?
We just opened it up to public comments. No, we are, that's what we did. Meetings closed. I said. So yes, thank you. Meeting adjourned. Have a happy Thanksgiving and be safe.
Okay, so what happened is I walked up and talked to them and I said, well, this is a load of shit. That's absolutely not what goes on. That's not what goes on at every Board of Works meeting. Look, you can go back and watch every Board of Works meeting. That's not what goes on. What is going on? They were so nervous. He was so nervous there. So what I went up and asked them, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys right here what the problem was. I'm going to show you right here what the problem is. Let me pull up my emails. I'm going to show you. I don't know if they think... I've never understood. Listen, I've been doing this now in this format, behind a microphone, talking to officials and presenting the information to the public in some form or another since 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 7 years. In 7 years, they always think they're going to I'm going to go away. I am not going, God willing, I am going to be here and I'm going to be on your ass. I'm not going away. Okay. So I want to show you what has happened here. Michelle Owen. Okay. I had asked Michelle to look into something, Michelle Owen to look into something and give me an answer on something. And she responded back to me with oh no, if John Quirk or Roger Overby did that, the Fran Tuckers of the world, where are those people? Where's Biker Babe? Where's Fran Tucker? Where is Mary Stilts? Where are these people that would be griping about this? They think it's wonderful what I'm doing. Excuse me. They would think it was wonderful what I'm doing if it was Roger Overby and John Quirk. They think it's horrible what I'm doing because it's Dan's people. That stuff just doesn't play. Those people aren't real. Okay? Where's Miss Me Tackett? Yeah, right. Okay? So I want you guys to look at this. Michelle Owen sends back to me the email that says, "Good afternoon, Chris. Thank you for your patience. I believe Micah has already been in touch to answer some of your questions regarding our geofencing service. In answer to your specific questions, who, what firm collected it, Placer AI, when was the data collected? The data was pulled continuously and processed within a 3-day window. When did the city start this? Placer was discussed at the 4/6/26 Board of Works meeting." All right, so that's April 26th. How much does the city pay for this? $30,000. Out of what fund? Edit. When was this discussed? April 26th. So as I've shown you guys, I went back to the April 26th meeting, and there is no discussion of Placer AI. Now, when you go to the minutes, there is a line in the minutes that says it was discussed. Okay? So I got a problem with that. It's not discussed in the meeting, but yet it's in the meeting minutes. So I reached back out to Michelle and I said, "Michelle, okay, I say, Michelle, hello, I was wondering if you could look into something for me. You sent me an email last week attempting to answer some questions that I have. It's the email that I'm replying to here. However, I will attach a screenshot of it as well. Anyway, you'll notice the highlighted 2 areas in the screenshot of your email where you informed me that Placer AI was discussed at the Board of Works meeting on Wednesday, April 26th, 2023. Here is what I'm asking of you. When you get a moment, can you please look through the meeting and tell me when the Placer AI tech is discussed? Because I've watched it multiple times and I have been unable to find the point in the meeting where Placer AI is discussed, ever. To make it simple, I have copied and pasted the meeting here for you. But of course, if you want to make sure I haven't edited anything out, you can, of course, find the meeting on the city's Facebook page. It will be just as the link here shows. Here's the meeting, and I included it. I am hoping I am just missing something, but I'm not sure. After this, I have a few more questions about all of this. I'm wanting to keep the mayor tip-top, you know? Here's hoping some kind of reset can take place, and this next 4 years can be way different than the last 4 have been. Guess we'll wait and see. I mean, I'm not holding my breath. He still has me blocked from his social media account, which is disheartening, but one thing at a time. The Placer AI deal, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to email or call me, yada, yada, yada. All right. She then responds back to me. Okay, telling me something very strange. She says, Placer was on the Board of Works agenda claims list for 4/26 and on the June 7th meeting. The minutes from those meetings are on our online portal. In the June 7th meeting, there is a typo and it's referred to as Pacer. So I then went to those minutes and I found that Placer is discussed there. And then I went to the meeting. And sure enough, just like April 26th, there is no discussion anywhere of Placer AI or Pacer. Okay. I then send back to her, no, unfortunately, it does not help at all. Have you watched these Board of Works meetings? Or are you just going by the meeting minutes? Because yes, I have too seen where the paper minutes list that this was discussed. Placer AI, or wrongly called Pacer AI, but in reality, nothing concerning anything closely related to that was discussed. Here are the links for both of those meetings. Can you advise further? and I sent her the meeting for April 26th, and I sent her the meeting for June 7th. So I have yet to hear back from Miss Owen on this. Today, when I went to the Board of Works meetings, I wanted to talk to them about this issue, and I planned to do it in the public comment section. I wasn't going to talk to them about this up here because it had nothing to do with this. I wasn't going to talk to them about it up here because it had nothing to do with this. I was going to wait and do it politely and speak in the public comment section. But Ted and co got the hell up out of there way real fast. What is going on? All right. Let me tell you what happens. When they shut the meeting down, I walked my happy little ass up there to the counter and I said, with all of them up there, yo, you guys have something wrong going on here and you need to take a look at this. You have minutes where Placer AI is discussed in the meeting minutes on two different meetings, April 26th and June 7th. However, if you go to the meetings, they're not discussed there. So on paper, it looks like you guys discussed it. But in reality, you did not. That's a problem. Ted wrote down everything I said. He said he would look into it. Now, Ted and I are supposed to go to lunch after this Turkey Day. So sometime next week or the week after, I'm going to get together with him. And while we're sitting there in lunch, I'm going to play the damn meetings for him. So he can choose to listen to it between now and our lunch, or I'll do it my damn self. I'll play them for him myself. Okay? Here's what happened afterwards. When I was walking out, an employee from the clerk's office came up to me and was concerned. Because she's the person who types up the minutes. So she heard what I was saying. She asked me if what my issue was, because she wanted to make sure, listen, this goes back to that thing, do I affect government? She wanted to make sure that I wasn't griping about her job. And I said, no, I don't think that this is a you problem. And she said, well, let me tell you what the issue is. Craig Wright, the night before each Board of Works meetings, sends out an email. And in that email, they tell me what I'm to include in the minutes. And she showed me a copy of the email for today's meeting. It was already typed up. She says, I then go in there and add other comments. Like, for example, she will add the comments that Audie got up and said. She will add the comments that I got up and said. She will add the comments that Adam Leach got up and said. However, what she's adding them to is already typed up for her by Craig Wright.
Are the votes in there too?
The votes are not there. She adds the votes.
Oh, okay.
But So she showed me, I saw the copy of the email.
Oh,
she let me. I read it today. I read it. So I'm going to, after the holiday. Oh, I'm not worried about all of that, because here's what I'm going to do. This is something that they just continuously do, because let me tell. That's what I'm going to do. It's an APR request, but I will issue an records request for the email. because let me tell you what's going on here. The email that she gives looks just like the email that when we get the email, and I'll have it and I'll show it to you. It's an email from Craig Wright to this employee, and I'll have it sometime next week, or the week after. And when I show it to you guys, it will look just like the minutes from last week or the minutes from 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, when they have these minutes ready, because I'll show you. Here's the minutes from last week. Okay. Board of Works and Safety, City of Muncie, State of Indiana, met City Hall Auditorium at 9 a.m. Point 1. That she types in there. Pledge of Allegiance is in there. Roll call. And then she marks in there, who's not there. Okay. Approval of the minutes. She writes in there what happens. Register of claims. Matt Wegley, Deputy Controller, wished to bring attention to a few claims. Page 10, page 12, page 14, EFTs. Okay, page 10, 26,800. American Asphalt, MVH, Beck Circle Paving. Page 12, 14,674. Mike King, Heating and Cooling, MVH, Kilgore Roof, Top Furnace. Page 14, 30,805. Journal Communications, Edit Media Publication Marketing, magazine called Livable East Central Indiana. An interesting read. For instance, in the current issue, Ball State, Blackford County, City of Muncie, Henry Community Health, Star Financial, and Minnetrista are all participants. EFTs, UMR, 142,000.
That's this meeting.
No.
Okay.
That's the last meeting. These are the minutes that they typed up that they approved for last week. They approved today.
He didn't talk about 9/10 of that stuff.
Yeah, he mentioned every bit of it. He mentioned Squidward mentioned every bit of those things.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Sorry, last meeting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, last meeting. And here's what happened. Here's what they did. He read down through that. Well, here's what's going on. The Placer AI is showing up in this section. So Craig Wright on April 4th, that email was sent and she included it, but he never talked about it. Never talked about it on June 7th either. So that's what happened. She's typing up the minutes from the night before. So I will get those as well. And we will look and we'll see that we paid for them, but we never discussed them. Linda never questioned. Ted never questioned. Lola Mar never questioned. We just went right on through. All right. That's number one issue. Number two is all of this money that we're paying out to True and Crew and Foo and Screw companies. All right. These two guys that make up this new, shifting company. I don't know what the deal is, but something is funky fishy going on there. And I am telling you, we are going to get to the bottom of it. They're making it seem as though they've actually discussed these items, but it is a lie. Yes, ma'am. 100%. 100%. And if I have to go and set in Michelle's office and play these damn meetings for her so she understands that, I will do it. I don't understand what they are doing. Folks,
you know exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely. This is every bit as bad, if not, or not worse than what was going on under Tyler. It's this exact shit that got the FBI looking into Tyler. Playing around with claims during the Board of Works. And I want to ask them, has Ted Baker, has Linda, do they have a short-term memory issue? Has Adam Leach, has anybody up there, Craig Wright, has anybody talked to Craig Nichols? One of you all might need to sit down and talk with Mr. Craig Nichols. Because I'm telling you, after everything he's been through, his advice to you would be, don't screw around. Yeah, we've got... everything's a spinoff. Oh, yeah, this is going to happen. So... here's the thing. Aubrey Jones and Kidder had to go back before the Board of Work to bring non-discussed claims before the Board of Works that had been paid to make it right. Absolutely. So I'm just going to say, we paid for things on the Board of Works that was never discussed. There was never any discussion for a contract. Do we have a contract with Placer AI? Is this an ongoing service? See, I've got tons of other questions. There's so much bullshit going on within the city of Muncie. We can't even get to it all. It's like they just keep piling more and more and more and more and more on. So, I'll volunteer for the cameraman. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Everybody, go have a good, happy Turkey Day. Be thankful for everything that's going on. Thankful for your lives. Thankful for your families. Thankful for this country we live in. Thankful that we have the opportunity to speak out and to redress this government. I am thankful for everyone in my family. I'm thankful for everything that I've got. I'm thankful for all of the blessings that I have been given in my life, both the things that I've understood, things I've not understood. I understand that they are all lessons I have learned. I am absolutely thankful for everyone in my life, all of my friends, all of you. I'm thankful for Kate, Brandon, Niles, and everyone that makes up the team. The close-knit team, the outer band, the outer band, and everyone else. I'm thankful for everyone here. I want you guys to have a very, very, very good Turkey Day. I know tonight's Wednesday. That means tomorrow's Thursday. We would generally have a show. I want Kate to be able to spend time with her family and not have to screw with me. I will more than likely pop on at some point tomorrow just to say, hey, happy Turkey Day, or do something stupid. I know I've got some family things I'm going to do. And then eventually at some point in the afternoon, I'm going to slide over. Audie's family has a big get together and I'm going to go over and hang out with them for a minute. So I might go live with Audie kind of screwing around or something tomorrow afternoon. It's not going to be a big, massive show. We're not going to do everything. I'm not going to be here in the studio doing it. Just might jump on long enough to say happy Turkey Day. But, it's just going to be me doing it real, pop-up guerrilla style. So it's not going to be a big deal. I then probably will, I don't see being on Friday unless something just absolutely nuts happens, and I don't see being on Saturday. So that means I will be back Sunday then after that. I don't know. Maybe because I'm not doing a show. We'll talk about whether I'm going to do something Friday or Saturday. I'll let you know. I just you might maybe look out for Saturday for something just because we won't be there tomorrow. I definitely won't be on Friday. I definitely will not be on Friday. But you guys keep out on the lookout for that. Either way we do it. Maybe we'll do something Saturday. Maybe we don't. If not, I will definitely be back here on Sunday at 9 p.m. And I'm telling you, We're going to get into it, folks. It's going to get deep. We're going to start getting into the election. I've got people doing things, making moves. Things are getting ready to pick up. So I am happy that you guys are here on the ground floor of this. Please help share the show, spread the word, do your thing. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being our friends and our enemies. You guys have a good Turkey Day tomorrow. We will see you at some point tomorrow. And you guys have a good one. Take care. God bless. And we will see you back here. Well, we'll be here tomorrow at some point, but we'll see you back here for a regular show on Sunday at 9 p.m. Take care. God bless. Have a good night. Goodbye. I don't know what happened.